So the reading is taken from Ruth 1, verses 6 to 18. When Naomi heard in Moab that the Lord had come to the aid of his people by providing food for them, she and her daughters-in-law prepared to return home from there. With her 2 daughters-in-law, she left the place where she'd been living and set out on the road that would take them back to the land of Judah. Then Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show you kindness as you have shown kindness to your dead husbands and to me. May the Lord grant that each of you will find rest in the home of another husband." Then she kissed them goodbye, and they wept aloud and said to her, "We will go back with you to your people." But Naomi said, "Return home, my daughters. Why would you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons who could become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I'm too old to have another husband, even if I thought there was still hope for me. Even if I had a husband tonight and then gave birth to sons, would you wait until they grew up? Would you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters, it is more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord's hand has turned against me." At this, they wept aloud again. Then Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, but Ruth clung to her. "Look," said Naomi, "your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her." But Ruth replied, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me." When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her.
I want to look this morning at the story of Ruth, and specifically about the idea of loyalty and commitment that we see in that story and how it kind of applies to us today. So children, I do actually need you to come and help me, because I would like us to tell the story of Ruth. I have got some special cards here and a couple of props. You don't have to say anything, but I'd love you to come and join me, otherwise I'm going to look really silly. So do I have at least, I need at least 3 volunteers. Okay, so I've got 7 cards here, and these 7 cards are going to help us to tell the story. Is that good? Yeah, you ready? Fantastic. So Naomi, her husband Elimelech, and their 2 sons had left Bethlehem because of famine. They settled in the land of Moab, but sadly, Elimelech died. But Naomi's 2 sons married 2 local women, Orpah and Ruth. And our story begins with a card for Ruth, and you are going to be my Ruth. Could you open the card, please? What does it say on the front?
In sympathy.
In sympathy. Can you read what it says inside?
Dear Ruth, extending deep and heartiest sympathy to you and your family. We are so sad to hear your husband has died, especially after his father and brother has died too. Love, your family.
So sadly, wrong one for me. So sadly, Ruth's husband has now died as well. So we're going to have to give you a little bit of something to wear, because it's very sad. So you're going to need to have this on, you can put it over your hair if you want to, you can just wear it like that, okay, to symbolise that you are sad because somebody has died, okay? And Ruth, your husband who died, is Naomi's son, so you are going to be my Naomi, okay? So you also, it's doubly sad for you because you have lost your husband and both of your sons. So we'll just pop this over your head. I'm just caught it on my bracelet. That's not very helpful. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. So now Naomi has no husbands and no sons. Okay, so Naomi, we're going to give you a card. Do you want to come and open your card and read it? Come a bit closer.
Sorry you're leaving. Dear Naomi, you'll be missed. We are so sorry you're leaving Moab. You will be missed. We are pleased for Ruth and Oprah are going with you.
Love from the Moabites.
So love from the Moabites. We're really, really going to miss you because you've got to leave. Because you now don't have any sons. You've got to get back to your homeland. You've got no choice but to head back to Bethlehem. And Orpah and Ruth are going with you. But at one point on the journey, Naomi turned to the two women and told them they could leave. There was no expectation that they stayed with her. Orpah said goodbye and headed back to Moab. So let's say goodbye to Orpah. She's just over there. Give her a little wave. Okay, lovely. And Orpah said goodbye and headed back to Moab. But it tells us in the book of Ruth that Ruth said, "Don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God." So off they went to Bethlehem. But before we go, here's a little card for Ruth. What does it say? Perhaps you could be in charge of this, holding on the microphone for them. That would make much better. So you can put it so she can be speaking.
Thank you,
Great.
youth, for being so great. Dear Ruth, thank you for staying with me and travelling to Israel. I am so lucky to have you. Love from Naomi.
Okay, so Naomi's really pleased that Ruth is staying with her. So then we get to Bethlehem. So this time we're going to have another card for both of you. You can just read it though, Naomi. Come around this way. So the new home card.
Dear Naomi and Ruth, welcome to Bethlehem. We are glad you're here. The tribe of
Emelites. From the tribe of Ephraim.
Oh.
Yeah? So it's a card from Ruth's tribe. They were welcomed back to Bethlehem, but it was hard for both of them with no husbands to support them. Life was difficult for women back then. So Ruth needs to find a job. You ready for the microphone?
New job. Who's a bright spark? Well done, Ruth. Let your light shine. Congratulations. Congratulations on your new job in the field. Look out for my relatives. Both. Love, Naomi.
Okay. So Ruth has a job, okay? And this was in a job in the field of Boaz. Would you like to be Boaz? Come up and join me. You're here already, you can be Boaz. There you go. You've got some wheat. That'll show you who you are, okay? Ruth got a job working for Boaz, collecting the leftover grain from the harvesters. Boaz noticed Ruth and took care of her and provided for her when she needed it. Not long after that, something else happened. So we're going to need a quick costume change and another card. Are you ready? This is a card for Ruth and Boaz. I'll take your wheat. Remember, this is just a story before you get embarrassed.
Mr. and Mrs.
Do you want to hold the microphone?
Congrats to the happy couple. Dear Ruth and Boaz, wishing you a perfect day. Welcome to the family. Have a wonderful wedding day. Love from Naomi.
Love from Naomi. So now Boaz and Ruth got married. Boaz did something really special that we'll look at in a minute. And it involved a shoe, which is a bit strange. Boaz noticed Ruth and took care of her and provided for her when she needed it. Boaz redeemed the family with a shoe. It's fine, it doesn't smell, I double checked it. Okay. Married Ruth and provided for Naomi too. Finally, something even more special happened for Naomi. And Naomi, you are going to need to come a bit further. You're going to need to come in. You guys have got a card to read. You can put your shoe down now if you want to. And then we've got something even more special that happened for Naomi. Would you like to read the card? Oh, hold on, you need to do the microphone.
Hello, little fellow. Hello. Dear Ruth and Boaz, congratulations. Thank you for my beautiful grandson, Obed. I think he has a bright future ahead. Love, Naomi.
There we go. There it is. You need to hold him properly. It's very, very special. He's very, very new. Okay, so finally, we have our completed family. Naomi became a grandmother, and baby Obed would be part of something very special. Well done, guys. Give them a clap. That was brilliant. I'm going to pop everything down on the floor, and I will. Oh, dear. I feel very sorry for that baby. Goodness me. Okay. Daniel, don't worry. I've got a job for you in a second. Fantastic. I love it. That's one of the fun things of my job. Guys, you can go and sit yourself down. Thank you. Pop the cards down and go and sit yourself down. Let's give you a clap. Thank you very much. And the shoe. Take a bow, and off you go. Go sit down. I love that. Working with children is just so much fun. Okay, so we have looked very briefly at the story of Ruth. One of my most favourite ways to do it is with those cards, because it's always really fun when you do that. But I want to look at 3 specific things from this story. Firstly, loyalty. Loyalty means showing up when it's hard and sharing the weight. It's really easy to be a good friend to somebody when they're celebrating something, or maybe when they've got a new game that you want to play with them, or they're going somewhere exciting. But loyalty is what happens when your friend is having a terrible day. When they're in the middle of a health crisis or facing sadness or disappointment, loyalty says, I'm sticking with you anyway. Naomi was not in a good place. She was a widow and she'd lost both of her sons. At the time, husbands and sons were a real social safety network. Without them, she had no income, no land, and no legal protection. In that culture, having a husband and children meant fullness. So without them, she's viewed as being completely empty. No purpose, no place in society. And finally, her family estate was essentially lost. The family line was gone. By choosing to stay with Naomi, Ruth was permanently cutting ties with her biological family in Moab and choosing somewhere with no financial or legal protection and the possibility of never being married and never having her own children. It's not clear what motivated Ruth to stay. In fact, Naomi had told both Orpah and Ruth to leave. We might think that Orpah was the one, oh no, she left, but actually that's what Naomi told her to do. She was following the request of her mother-in-law. But Ruth says, and I'll read it again, we've read it a couple of times this morning, don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. And where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people and your God, my God. In Hebrew, this kind of devotion is called hesed, steadfast love that acts rather than just feels. And Daniel, I do now have that job for you. So I'm going to ask Adam if he'll just pass me my backpack. It's underneath your chair. Thank you, dear. So here's a backpack. Daniel, if you want to come over here. And I want you to put this backpack on your head. Don't worry, I don't walk around on your head. Did I just say on your head? Oh, goodness me, on your back. Let's put it on. Well, let's see, shall we? Put it on first. Is it heavy? It is heavy, isn't it? I don't normally walk around with it that heavy. Well, there's all sorts of stuff in it, whatever I could find this morning. So imagine that backpack is a bit like life. Okay, life gets really heavy, doesn't it? When Ruth stayed with Naomi, she didn't make the problems magically disappear right away. She didn't just take the backpack off. In fact, she did something better. So if you want to come and stand in front of me, turn yourself this way so everyone can see you. This is what Ruth did. Does that feel a bit easier to carry now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have I taken the backpack away? It's still there, isn't it? But what am I doing?
Lifting it.
I'm lifting it. I'm taking some of the weight, aren't I? Thank you. You can take it off and pop it down there. I was taking most of it, actually. You're right. Yeah. So it's still there, but you weren't carrying it on your own. Thank you very much, Daniel. Fantastic. Think of someone that has shown up for you, been loyal and stuck with you despite the circumstances. Those people are really to be treasured. When have you done that for somebody else? I'm sure you can all think of an example of where you've done that for somebody else. So loyalty is about showing up when it's hard and sharing the weight. Secondly, commitment is a choice. It's not a feeling, and it's about the long haul. Feelings change all the time. One day you might feel like cleaning your room and being helpful in the house. The next day you don't. One day you love your job, your family, your life, your school, and the next day not so much. Ruth probably didn't feel like working in a dusty field all day, but commitment means you keep your promise even when the fuzzy, warm feelings are gone. In Ruth 2 verse 2 we read that one day Ruth said to Naomi, "Let me go out in the harvest field to pick up the stalks of grain left behind by anyone who is kind enough to let me do it." For a moment, let's look at the reality of Ruth's work. Firstly, it was backbreaking. The Torah law allowed the poor to walk behind the harvesters to pick up stray stalks of grain, and this gleaning involved long hours of constant motion in the heat. We have suffered in the heat, have we not, in the last few weeks? And I have spent a lot of my time inside. I love warm weather, but even that's been too much for me. And even just going outside has been hard. But imagine in that same heat, just walking constantly out in the fields, bending down and picking up any stray stalks of grain. As a vulnerable, unprotected woman, Ruth would have been in constant physical danger, and as a foreigner, she would have faced hostility. And finally, she was relying on the charity of others. Gleaning was seen as quite a humiliating public admission of absolute poverty, and she was depending on the generosity, or perhaps just the carelessness, of the other harvesters. Ruth didn't just help Naomi for an hour or a day. She moved to a whole new country and changed her entire life. True commitment means we don't give up on people when they're having a bad week, or when they're grumpy, or when they're really hard to be around. We stick with them. We're committed to them. Because sometimes we might need that commitment back again. So who are you committed to? Or what are you committed to? Finally, this story of Ruth helps us see God as the ultimate example of loyalty and commitment. Eventually, because of Ruth's incredible heart, a good man named Boaz noticed her hard work and took care of them both. Boaz was a relative of Naomi, and he willingly took on the role of kinsman redeemer to restore the family line and their land, and to turn Naomi's emptiness into fullness. And by taking Ruth as his bride, Boaz changed her status. In Ruth chapter 4, verses 9 to 10, Boaz says to the elders and to the crowd standing around, "You are my witnesses that today I have bought from Naomi all of the property of Elimelech, Chilion, and Mahlon. And with the land I have acquired Ruth, the Moabite widow of Mahlon, to be my wife. This way she can have a son to carry on the family name of her dead husband and to inherit the family property here in his hometown. You are all witnesses today." Both Naomi and Ruth were redeemed and restored. And the most amazing thing about this story is that it points directly to Jesus. On the cross, Jesus redeemed us to God's family and our inheritance. He also changed our status. We are redeemed and restored. Ephesians 1 verse 7 says, "He is so rich in kindness and grace that he purchased our freedom with the blood of his Son and forgave our sins." Boaz's role as a redeemer serves as a powerful foreshadowing of Jesus, a redeemer who steps in voluntarily, pays for the cost he does not owe, and rescues those who cannot save themselves. And the reason we can practice loyalty and commitment to each other is because God does it. God looks at every single person in this room. Child, teenager, parent, grandparent, adult, whatever. And he says exactly the same thing that Ruth said. "Where you go, I will go. I will never leave you or abandon you." Isaiah 41 verse 10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." We never have to walk through life alone. There's a verse in Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 that says, "Two are better than one, But actually, if you look on a little bit later in verse 12, it says, a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. That's often one that's used when people get married. They have that little verse because it's about them and God together, which is amazing. But actually, it's about all of us. We may be showing commitment and loyalty to somebody or more than one person in our lives. And it may be challenging, but we're not alone. God is the 3rd strand. He's committed to us, our children. He is with us in all things. You might be wondering if your loyalty and commitment to someone is having an impact. Ruth didn't set out to become famous or change history. She just wanted to make sure her mother-in-law had dinner and was looked after. However, her faithfulness, her loyalty, her commitment placed her in the direct lineage of King David. You see, Obed became the father of Jesse, who became the father of David, King David, and we know that Jesus comes from that line. You rarely see the impact of your choices in the moment. Ordinary acts of kindness, loyalty, and daily commitment can have a ripple effect that will impact generations. We can see that loyalty and commitment to each other, we can do that because that's how God works in us. And I want to give us an opportunity, as we often do in our own all-age services, to have a little time of a response. I think it's important when we hear from God that we respond to God. So I wonder, who is God calling you to commit to or recommit to? Who is he bringing to your mind? Could be a name, it could be a picture of someone. It might be telling you something about this person that you need to be reminded of. It might be something you're already doing, or it might be something new. It could be a commitment to a place. Maybe it's a commitment to this place, to this community in which your church is. Maybe it's a commitment to sharing the gospel, supporting those in need. But I believe God shows us the ultimate example of loyalty and commitment, and he wants us to respond in the same way. So because I am an ex-primary school teacher and a children's worker, I have got something practical for you to do. I've got some post-it notes and some pens, and I want you just to have this opportunity. I want you to take this moment. Children, this is also for you. It's something that you can do because you will all have friends and you will all have things that you want to show commitment to. So come, we can pass the post-it notes out, we can pass the pens out. I bought pens because I know how annoying it is when we don't have enough pens in places, but you might have your own. Just spend a moment. God, who is it you want me to think about? Who is it that maybe it's hard to show them that commitment? It's hard to be with them in this difficult time. May God just remind us that he's given us that same understanding. So we're just going to do that now. And if you want to respond, you can. We'll pop the post-it notes at the front and the pens, and you can come and grab one. And then just spend a few minutes, and then I will finish in prayer. Heavenly Father, sometimes it's hard in the daily walk of life as we support those around us, as we have our own difficulties and challenges, Father. It's difficult to keep showing up. It's difficult to keep being there. But Lord, you are always there for us. And you tell us that we're not doing this alone. And so, Father, I just pray for every single person in this room, every person that you have placed on their heart and on their mind this morning, that they have been reminded of. Perhaps they already support them and are committed to them, but perhaps also they needed a reminder, or maybe it's somebody completely new. Lord, we pray that you will open the door, that you will help us and you will guide us as we show our commitment and show our support for these people who are struggling. As we show up, just like Ruth did, just like Ruth said, no, I'll stay. I'll be with you. I'll help you through this. And as she did exactly that, as she supported Naomi through the most challenging time of her life, help us as we do that for other people. And thank you that you do it for us. Thank you that you are with us in every situation. Father, I thank you for this church. I thank you for the people here. I thank you for the children who so willingly volunteered to be part of the story. And I pray, Lord, that you will bless them, that you will just speak into their lives today. And help all of us, Father, to know your love and your complete and utter commitment to us. Amen.